Being a teenage mother was one of the most damaging things that could have happened to me, outside of all the many, many things that had already occurred. You talk about identity, man, my identity had already been ripped apart by abuse, by instability. Um, but to add on top of it, being a teen mother nearly destroyed me. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia James, and this channel is just to encourage women, hopefully, to just be a better them that is connected to God. I'm here to reflect His light and to hopefully just get one more person closer to him and in relationship with him. I am continuing my series that I started, Finding God in My Story, and I am using this series just to really lay out who Alicia James is. And so I wanted to specifically talk about my journey with teen motherhood and the healing that I had to go through because of that. Let me kind of go back. Growing up, I had a lot of insecurities. I was raised in Philadelphia, Mississippi. So pretty aware that I was just a little bit too dark. Not only from other races, but my own, unfortunately. And my sister, who is still just the most gorgeous person in the world, heart and physically, and just my family, most of them, or at least the cousins and things that I was around at the time, were lighter than me. And also, I think I've shared this before, my family had a nickname for me. They did not mean harm, but they called me Blackie. So, now as I got older, I got a little bit lighter, and so they would joke about that. But as a child, I'm outside all the time, and I'm not thinking about my skin complexion. I just want to enjoy my childhood. But it really affected me, and it affected my self-esteem. And I just remember just feeling like not pretty enough, not good enough. And definitely not on the level of my sister and my cousins. And I would walk behind them. I don't even know if anybody ever noticed, but I'm like, don't nobody want me. And so I was going to church, 13 years old, and all of a sudden, this little tall, skinny guy showed interest in me, and he wrote me this letter. And y'all know back in the days, we used to spray the letters in cologne and perfume. He sprayed it. It was so strong. And he's folded it up. We used to do like this really unique folding. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and age yourself. But yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, somebody likes me, not my sister, not my it's me. He likes me. And so y'all know what I did when you're having issues with confidence and loving yourself. It just takes one. It don't matter what one it is. Okay. And that's exactly what I did. I attached so heavily. I remember my poor mom. He was treating me any kind of way, y'all. He would be up in the church with all the girls coming from revival, and I would be at home in bed crying all night. And my poor mom was like, "You too young for a boyfriend." But it was too late. I thought I was in love, okay? And I spent from the age of 13 to 17 in this relationship, up and down, and it was very traumatizing. I experienced emotional abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. Um, I mean, there were some times where we was just like fighting like two guys. There were a few times. And I laugh because I know how serious it is. I did get therapy, so I'm good, guys. I did get therapy, and most of all, I got God. But yeah, you really try to find a way to kind of navigate and talk about stuff like this. So I recently did a talk where I was opening up and just sharing a little bit about my upbringing. And this was one of the stories that I told. And it's just talking about identity, just talking about how much had already been ripped from me. And then to add this on top of it just really just was killing my self-esteem. So where I was excited that someone was interested in me, the way that he treated showed no interest, and I was just fighting for his affection in a way that was just not good. And by the age of 17, I ended up pregnant, and it was very disappointing to a lot of people. My mom personally didn't speak to me for, I know, at least 3 to 4 weeks. She was silent, because they had high hopes for me. I loved school. I loved school. I still love learning. I had A's and B's, graduated 3.8 GPA. I loved school. But now I'm pregnant. And so I had someone tell me, I was told more than once, what are you going to do after high school? I'm going to college. No, you're not. You're not going to college. You can't go to college. You have a baby. That's what they all say. I had some of my friends' mom didn't want them like being around me, not coming to my baby shower. And I respect that. But that I'm just letting you know what my experience was, and already dealing with identity issues. These were, again, some of the things that I had to continue to go through. And I was very embarrassed. To be honest, I carried that embarrassment up into my adulthood. Um, I feel like I am just getting past that within like the past 5 years of like, no, like that's my testimony and being okay with it. And that's crazy because I've been married for 20 years, but that is just something that I carry because I was made to feel that shame, and that shame just hung on to me. And I had such a hard time of just letting it go and just to stop punishing myself because I had just so many people punished me for the mistake, and I thought it was completely justified. And so releasing that took a lot. And I know it's definitely just taken within the past 5 years or so, just because I didn't have any relationship with God. Even though He protected me, even though He took care of me, I did not have a relationship with God. And so it took that relationship to really help me to start to heal. So I was just kind of, when you become a teen mom, depending on how you're raised, like my mom was raised in Mississippi. Their mom died in their 30s. And so my mom was pretty much raised by her older sisters. They were raising each other, which is chaotic because they were all very young. And so all they knew was just to work, which was to be go-getters, which was to be just very firm. My mom ended up being really, really different, only from the aspect of like she was very loving. Just I remember a lot of just touching, hugging, kissing, which is something that my aunts still to this day work on. That they have to deal with me. You giving kisses, you giving hug, I'm gonna love on you, but it's not something that's natural for them. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's just they have had to take care of themselves for so long. That's all they know. Like, what we doing? Um, and so because of that energy, my mom was just like, oh, you're going to figure it out. Like, I will, while you're pregnant, I'm going to make sure you have everything that you need. But once you have this baby, you're going to figure it out. And so that's what I had to do. And once I graduated from high school, my mom had ended up moving back here to Houston. And I told her, no, I wasn't moving because already during my life, I had moved back and forth, so much so that I don't even remember all of the schools that I went to. And I told my mom, it's my senior year. I'm not leaving. I'm going to finish graduating. And so there I was, just turning 18 years old with a baby, trying to finish high school on my own, working at like Wendy's or something. No car. Let me add that in as well. I went into just full depression. I was crying every day, up until the point my mom got really scared, so she had to come and get me. But um, I still, once she came and got me, thank God, I was happy to just be with family. But my mom still was like, "Okay, you in Houston, you gonna get on this metro? You about to do? You about to?" I thank God for my mom though, because it definitely made me stronger. There's some things I may have done a little bit differently, but there were also things that when I think about who I was that probably needed to be done um, in order for me to grow in the way that I needed to grow. So I know she meant it in love. It was rough, but I was catapulted into adulthood, but I was still a baby. I was a baby trying to raise a baby. I had help from my son's father, his mother. Now, my son's father, he really was not and has not been a big part of his life because he did get into trouble. He ended up in prison for a very long time, over, I believe, about 15 years, if not. And that was before the 15 years, he had already been in trouble and been in and out of prison. But his mother was always really present. Now, we didn't always see eye to eye, because I'm young. People who are older, they feel like they know best. And so that was our situation. I thank God every day because now we have a better relationship, but we went through it. She offered to take care of my son while I go to college. So, yes, I went to college, but that probably was one of the it's hard for me to say if it was a good or bad decision. What I will say is that it is the reason that it has taken time for me and my son to rebuild our relationship and even me and her. Um, because during that time, you're separated. As a child, raising a child, I don't know how to be a long distance mother. I don't even know how to be a normal mother. And so I don't think that I'm showing up in the way that I'm supposed to show up or that he needs me to show up. And so there's a bond that is created between them. And so without going into too deep of story, once I did graduate, we had a little tussle. We had a legal tussle. And I just think amidst all of the conflict, um, he was hurt the most. Um, and I don't know any mother who loved their child that wouldn't have done what I did. But when I think back, I wish that I would have been able to see in the way that I see now. And I probably not would have given up on the fight, but I would have done it differently. Just out of love, even though it would have really hurt me. But it's not about me. Um, but now me and my son, we have a great relationship. That's my baby. Both my kids are my babies, and they big babies because now he has a baby. And that is one he knew I would be. That would melt my heart. And y'all, this little girl is, first of all, is his twin, and she is just, it's the greatest gift. Because of the way that I'm seeing life now, I am just like, this is what it is all about. Like when God says, be fruitful and multiply, and you start seeing your generations and generations just being created, I just think it's the most beautiful thing. It took me time to get to where I am now and to be able to just freely share this story. Recently, his grandmother apologized to me, and that, whew, and she just loved on me, and she was just like, I'm so happy that our relationship has improved, and if I've ever done anything that I've ever done or said, like, I am so sorry. And I'm like, these are this God is so, I love him because I prayed about that. I prayed about our relationship. I'm like, okay, me and my son, we're getting better. We're better. I love her too. I do love her because there were times like when I was alone that she was the only one there. I remembered on my prom that because I had to do prom alone, my mom had come back to Houston. So his grandmother, she actually paid for me to get my hair done, which was so, so nice. And not only that, she took photos of me and my date. We went over. So it was like, I know that she always loved me. She cared about me, and I love her as well. And I'm just happy that I feel like everything has come full circle as I've healed, as I've became who God has always seen me as and wanted me to be. Then I was able to release some of the things that I was holding on to, and in return, that helped to improve every single relationship. And I just want to say, first of all, if you were are a teen mom, is just the first thing that you need to do is just like forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the shame. It is way too heavy for you to carry to be the person that you are meant to be. And it is way too heavy to carry and continue to carry when you got people that you got to help. You have people that you have to mold, that you have to teach, that you have to share your testimony with. Release it. It's not worth it. When I think about it, I'm like, it was so pointless. It just held me back from so many things. It stifled my growth, my voice, my creativity. Let it go. God, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for just being the loving God that you are and being a forgiving God, and that we don't have to hold on to guilt. We don't have to hold on to regret, God. We can just come to you in repentance for anything that we do, God. And we can come to you and just be loved by you, because that's the sort of God that you are. And so, God, I just pray for anybody who just may be going through anything. Maybe it's not related to being a teen mother. It could be any area of your life where you may be carrying guilt or shame. God, I just pray that there's a release that happens today. God, I pray that peace just flows through everyone today, God. Healing flows through today, God. God, we thank you in advance for healing, for your love, for your joy. Amen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to watch out for the third episode, which is going to talk about 20 years of marriage, y'all. I can't wait to share with you guys the trials, the lessons, the joy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if this helped you in any way.